Welcome back to another Canon Cloak and Dagger recap. I'm your host Terry. Today doing episode 3, Stained Glass. So I'm gonna just get right into it. This episode is weird, man. It's really weird, and I would say that I had my kind of doubts about this show coming into it. Would have been on Freeform, and I wouldn't even just say Freeform, but streaming in general. They don't have the budgets, but what they do is they put a lot of money into kind of realistic stuff. Even if you think about the Netflix Marvel shows, where they don't show a lot of powers, and if they do, it's kind of practical. It's a lot of money into, you know, the environment that they shoot in, and it's money into the fight choreography and all that, but not a lot in the special effects, and they use that as part of the story. So with Cloak and Dagger, it was like, man, you know, and honestly, I thought there was a way you could do it, especially with Cloak, but even still, you're like, man, that's a lot of power based, and so how are they going to be able to show it? And after the first 2 episodes, I gave it a pass because, you know, they really took their time to focus on these two and build up the character development. But I had to wonder, like, as we go further in the season, how are they going to, you know, manage everything? And I have to say this episode, my fears kind of came true, where it is a lot of ambition in the show as far as what they want to do with the powers, what they want to do with kind of the scenery in New Orleans, but they don't necessarily have a budget to do it. And so, like, the black smoke that comes off Tyrone it doesn't look bad, but when it's coming off of him, it looks completely fake. And then the daggers, although I'm okay, like, I could suspend my disbelief enough, especially when you make the daggers appear and disappear. I could suspend my belief enough to say, okay, that's not something she's holding that's just glowing up. But instead it's kind of these light daggers. So I could do that, but I don't know. It just is going to get to a point where it's like, the ambition doesn't match up with the budget. And this episode is one of them things, because that let's just get to it. That whole dream sequence or whatever they were doing, that was weird. I don't understand. And I don't mean weird like trippy. I mean, like, it was unnecessarily dark, and kind of dark. I wouldn't say without a message, but it was kind of dark to be dark. Like, I felt like you could have did the same message in a different way, but you talking about Tyrone dressed up and, you know, the old style colonial type of uniform. We talking about a noose and the black man being hung, but also talking about him shooting, and, like, it was just weird. I mean, the metaphor was kind of there, but it was like, that was a weird way to go about it. And it was still on the nose. It's like, before she said anything, it's like, okay, even when I saw the weapons, it's like, okay, you're going to keep trying to do it different ways, but it's the same outcome. You got to try something different. And then actually, I like that she put the dagger down. I'm like, okay, you got to try using her as a weapon to kill him. I'm like, okay, that's not heroic, but okay, I like it. But then the light turns into handcuffs, which, you know, going about it the right way. So I was like, okay, that's a nice little twist. But then they turn around and do it again with Tyrone and young Thandie, and that one was dark. Like, the corporate dude waterboarding her dad over and over, and her running away, and it was, oh my God, I don't know. And then the next vision where she's in the church putting pills in everybody's mouth. I was like, what am I watching? Like, this is I haven't seen Legion, but this is the type of stuff I would expect in Legion, the way I hear about it. And so I'm just like, this is nuts. This is nuts. And the message was so on the nose. Like, they are really doing this duality thing. And I thought it was more subtle the first 2 episodes, but with this one, it's very much like, okay, here's her side. Now here's his side. And they're going to keep doing that until they collide with each other. And she's going to keep seeing his perspective. He's going to keep seeing her perspective. And then it was like, okay, we both keep trying to get a result, but we keep doing it the same way. We got to try something different. And so that was very clear and on the nose, and like they dramatized it by showing like all this dark stuff. And it was just like, okay, I get it. You beat me over the head a little too much with it. But in general, the whole voodoo thing, now they are giving props to New Orleans and they're really trying to use the mystique of the city as a part of the story, which is fine. We know this is more mutants and like science type base, how they got their powers, but they're trying to do the whole more mystical and spiritual side of it. And so it was okay. It just felt a little out of place, especially with this girl that he goes to school with. It's like she is so over the top flirting with him all the time. And then she's like, hey, I got something for you. Meet me after school. And it's like, okay. And then she doing voodoo tours and me, her auntie talking about you need a bath. You got to get naked and put all this stuff in the bath. Like, come on. It was just a little weird. And then they're making this sculpture throughout the whole movie or the show, and you don't know what it is. It's like, is this a intro? Is this part of the show? What is this? And then at the end, you see it's kind of like a little, I don't know, what is that thing called? 3D print voodoo doll, which, okay, that's weird to begin with, but then it's the auntie, and so we don't know what that means. Maybe we'll see, but I just felt like the whole voodoo thing didn't wrap up well. Like, kind of mention it, like, subtly, as, you know, once he says I'm cursed, or mention it so like, you know, this is the city of cursed people, or, you know, whatever. Then that's fine, but to really dive into it with him getting in the bath like Enchantress from Suicide Squad, I was like, okay, this is a little too much. It doesn't fit. And so, yeah, I wasn't enjoying that. Not enjoying the detective. Like, she didn't talk the first 2 episodes. Now she's talking. Now she wants to find, and how did she find Tandy? Like, did I miss something in episode 1 and 2? That really bothered me. Like, she just popped up at her mom's house. How, and like, I know they had a sketch of her, but even still, how did they know it was her? And so that really bothered me. That was like out of nowhere. And so I'm not really feeling that storyline. I'm still intrigued with Tyrone trying to catch the guy that killed his brother, and how he's a dirty cop and he's going to figure into it more. I don't really know what Tandy is chasing or running away from, or what's going to be her deal, because I don't think this boy, I hope it's not a big plot point. I hope Tyrone's the one that kind of lets her know she needs to go after the company or whatever, and, well, her mom's already doing that, trying to sue, so maybe she needs to get on board and help her mom. I don't know. But, yeah, so, I don't know. I'm still gonna watch it, of course. Still gonna watch it. Still very intrigued on where it's going now that they met each other. I would say, like I said, just the effects aren't holding up. And, that was the other thing about the weird, trippy scenes. They put so much money into these, like, elaborate sets, and, like, all the stained glass had, like, parts of their lives on it, and it was so much into that, and I'm like, why are y'all wasting money on those things when y'all could be putting money into these effects? So that was a little annoying. So the effects weren't there. The weirdness level was on 10 for no reason, and I don't know. It was a mixed bag episode, but I'm gonna keep watching. Overall though, I give it a C. I enjoyed the kind of duality, and I enjoyed the ambition of the creativity, but I don't think they executed it well, but I still give them points for trying, so I give it a C. But anyway, go to the comment section, let me know what you thought about the episode. Are you going to continue watching? What was up with the dream sequences? That was weird. Tell me what you thought. Thumbs up, subscribe, share around to get the convo started. And remember, if you heard it here, it's official canon.